Welcome to the Build Your Life Coaching Biz podcast, where you get to learn how to become a professional life coach and start an online coaching business from scratch. I'm your host, Krista Kathleen, a professional certified coach and spiritual business mentor. In 2016, I got divorced and left my full-time job as a registered nurse and decided to bravely answer my calling of becoming a life coach so I could help to change lives as I traveled around the world. And now I want to help you discover your purpose too. Having the freedom and flexibility to be your own boss and make as much money as you want right from your laptop will be one of the best gifts you ever give to yourself, your family, and the world. In these episodes, I'll give you real coaching combined with proven strategies and spiritual practices in order to help build your dream coaching business that feels perfect for you. Hello, my coaching family. Good morning. I have a little bit of time to kill before I have someone coming over from Facebook Marketplace to pick up a light fixture that I'm selling and then going right into teaching coaching skills lab for the Born to Coach Training Academy right after this. So I was like, hey, Lincoln's at his grandma's. Let's record a podcast episode. Also, if you listen to my last podcast episode about everything that shifted for me on my 38th birthday, and I was just being so raw and crying in the episode. I know that was a heavy episode, but I don't regret sharing it at all. I think it had a really important message to it. I got a lot of comments from people reaching out after that episode that just wanted to share their thoughts. So thank you so much. I love it when you all do that. It means so much to me. I love just getting messages on Instagram and hearing people say like, I've been listening to your podcast and it's inspiring me to do this in my business and my life. And I just think that's the greatest compliment. So thank you. I am feeling so much better. You can probably hear it in my voice and energy. And that's why I'm really in this new phase about just honoring my feelings as they come up and being with them and processing them so I can get through the other side. And I'm feeling a lot better. And so I'm really excited to talk to you guys today about coaching resources that you can use to run your coaching business and just become a better coach in general. This is a question that I get asked a lot on my coach training consults of, people just wanting to know different things of like scheduling apps and platforms to run coaching calls on. So I was like, let's just talk about it in the podcast. Also, too, I have a really cool thing called the Life Coach Starter Kit, and it's in my Build Your Life Coaching Biz in 7 Days course as a bonus. The course is only $125. It's self-paced, and I teach you how to get your life coaching business set up and running. And you also get a complimentary monthly group coaching call with me and the other coaches in my community for the rest of your life when you purchase that course. So a lot of the things I'm going to be talking about today is nicely organized in that Life Coach Starter Kit. So if you want to take advantage of that, then you should totally purchase the course today. All right. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. So the first thing a lot of coaches ask me is about the scheduling thing, and they really love how my scheduling system is set up. It's really not that hard to do. So I started using the platform called Acuity years ago, spelled Acuity. There is a free version. The only thing that sucks about the free version is it doesn't connect to your calendar, so you have to manually put in every appointment. Maybe if you're at the beginning of your business, you don't have that many appointments yet, it's not a big deal. But for me, I have constant client calls being scheduled every week and sales consults. And so it would just be a pain in the butt. So I think it's now $20 a month. I think that's totally worth it. And then, all the times just automatically show up in my calendar. And I love Acuity because you can connect it to your branding and you can fill out your time availability each week. And then when your personal clients are scheduling with you or people who find you online and they want to book a discovery call, you don't have to like go back and forth and say like, are you available this time? And I'm only available these times. And it's all just done ahead of time. And then what's also really great too is then after someone schedules, they get a confirmation email, they get your Zoom link or however you're going to be communicating with them. And then they also get reminder emails and reminder text as well. I believe the reminder emails and reminder text are with the paid version as well. I don't know if you get that with the free version. So it's just really nice. I used to have a bunch of no-shows before I set up my scheduling system like this. And so this really does reduce the no-shows because it reminds people. I have people that get an email like 24 hours before and then an hour before, and they also get a text an hour before. So it really does reduce the no-show rate. Calendly is also another one that coaches use for scheduling, and it's very similar to Acuity. I'm just loyal to Acuity because I don't even know why I chose it, but I did. And yeah, it's amazing. And then I love that you can attach a questionnaire form to it as well. So like when I have people book consults with me, I'll ask questions like, how did you find me or hear about me? And what do you want to talk about today? And I don't know. You can go on my scheduling thing and look at the different questions that I use there. The form will pop up. So yeah, I totally recommend Acuity for your scheduling. And then the next one is 17 Hats. So my first life coach back in 2016 recommended 17 Hats, and I think it just came out that year. And 17 Hats, they call it a CRM, like a client retention management system. And it's really designed for that entrepreneur that doesn't want to have like a million different subscriptions and a million different platforms all over the place. I get really overwhelmed. I just want everything in one place. And so 17 Hats is great. Like I've been using it for 8 years now. I am going to keep using it till the day I die. And honestly, 17 Hats already has a scheduling system built into it. So if you get 17 Hats, you don't even need to use Acuity because you can literally run your entire coaching business off of 17 Hats. It's so, so great. I do have a referral link that I'll include in the show notes. And if you use my referral link, you can get it for $75 a year, which I think is a steal because if you try to like purchase all the individual platforms individually, like you're going to spend way more than $75. So I think that's totally worth it. And there's just so much you can do in 17 Hats. I know that I don't even use like the program full out, and that's okay. I don't feel guilty or bad about that at all. I just use it for what I need. But so with 17 Hats, it has a place where you can put all of your clients' information in there. Like you can put their phone number, you can put their email in there, you can put notes. That's where I will take notes every time I do a client session. It's all stored in one place. You can send invoices, you can send questionnaires, you can send contracts, you can send proposals. I mean, there's just so much you can do. And then it's all like, you can put your branding and your logo and your colors in there as well. So it just looks really nice and really professional. It has a calendar in there. It has projects. It has leads. I don't even use any of those. It has bookkeeping. I don't use that bookkeeping system anymore because since I've hired a personal bookkeeper, she likes to use Xero and HubDoc. But when I was first doing my own bookkeeping, I was doing in 17 Hats. They have a workflow, documents to do. Again, I don't use any of those things. I would say basically what I use 17 Hats for now is to keep track of each client and each student that I work with in the Born to Coach Training Academy. And then I we'll send like invoices and contracts and questionnaire forms. And yeah, that's about all that I use it for now. And then, like I said, they have the scheduling in there too. So if I had found 17 Hats first before I'd already had all of my like scheduling links set up on Acuity, I would have totally gotten rid of Acuity. So, but it is what it is. It's all good. So yeah, I would highly, highly recommend using 17 Hats. Another one that I've heard that entrepreneurs use is HoneyBooks as well too. And there's a couple different ones out there, but I'm not familiar with them. I can only speak to how amazing 17 Hats is. And then they have a lot of like support calls and trainings too, because it can be a little overwhelming at first when you get in there, because there's just so many things that you can do with it. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, I will include my referral link below. I always like to use like platforms and resources too that have a referral system. Acuity used to have a referral system. They took it away, unfortunately, but I did like a couple of like trainings and YouTube videos teaching people how to set up their coaching scheduling links. And then I always say like, okay, here's my Acuity referral link. And then I got paid, I don't know, I got a certain amount of money back every month for every referral. And then it was like, I wasn't even having to pay for the platform then, which is great. So the same thing with 17 Hats. If someone signs up under your referral link, then you get a $50 like Amazon gift card every time someone signs up, and they end up using the platform after a certain amount of time. And so it kind of just starts to like pay for itself after a while. Okay, next coaching resource is Zoom. So I love using Zoom for running my sales calls, discovery calls, and for doing my client coaching calls as well. Some other coaches will do Google Meets. So if you already have like Google email and G Suite set up, then Google Meets is just complementary with that. I don't know. I just never really got into it. I like Zoom. I've been using Zoom since 2016. I started using Zoom before people even knew what Zoom was, because I started running my online business before the pandemic. And for some reason, like running an online business before the pandemic, everyone just thought it was really weird and no one understood or got what I did. And I would like tell people that were getting ready to do a consult with me, like, okay, you got to make sure that you have like the Zoom app downloaded on your phone. And they're always like, what's Zoom? And now nobody asks what Zoom is. Everybody knows what Zoom is. So that was such a benefit for me in my business. So yeah, it's really nice. Like most people know what Zoom is now after the pandemic. So Zoom does have a free option, but you can only use up to 40 minutes and then it's going to cut you off. And I don't know if you can record things as well. If you decide to use the paid version, which you can do, unlimited amount of time. I usually run 60-minute coaching calls, so it's good for that. It's like a $16 per month subscription, so not that pricey at all. And then you can do audio, you can do video, you can do so much with Zoom. So yeah, you got to think about what kind of video recording platform or audio recording platform that you're going to be using to run your coaching calls on. The next coaching resource that I really love and I use every day is G Suite. I think it's still called G Suite. They might have changed the name to Google Business. I don't know. Things are always changing, but it was G Suite at one point. But I love G Suite because it has Google Docs in there. I'm always sending my clients Google Docs. It has G Drive. I'm always like a lot of times my clients want personal meditations. And so I'll record meditations and then I'll send it through G Drive. There is slides in there as well. So if you want to create like presentations or PowerPoint, there's Google Forms in there. So again, like I said, you can send questionnaire forms through 17 Hats, but you could also do it through Google Forms as well through G Suite. And then G Suite also gives you that business email too. So yeah, G Suite is great for everyday use. The next coaching resource I really love is the Microsoft ToDo App. This is actually free, and I always have my private clients download it after our first session, and then every week I'll put in like session 1, session 2, and then I put in their commitments that they come up with every week. And then I love it because they get notified of when I add their commitments into the app, and we can both keep track of their commitments together. And then they can go into the app and then they can check off after they do things, and it makes a cool little ding sound. And then I can see like what they're completing. And it's just nice to keep all of their like commitments in one place. So I've been using that for years. I also use it with my team as well, with my assistant. Anytime I have new assignments for her to work on every week, I'll put it in the ToDo app and she gets notified. And then when she's done, she goes in and checks it off. So it is so lovely. Okay, next I wanted to talk about some coaching books and then some coaching podcasts, because I definitely always get asked about what coaching books that I recommend. These first two are by the same author, Michael Bungay Stanier. I think he's a British dude, has such a fun sense of humor. And so he has two books called The Coaching Habit and The Advice Trap. Now, he's not ICF credentialed, but a lot of his coaching advice and recommendations very much lines up with the ICF methodology. So that's why I feel comfortable recommending it. Because my school, my Born to Coach Training Academy, is ICF credentialed, and I really practice and preach the ICF methodology. I always try to be like mindful and careful about what type of coaching resources I recommend, and just making sure that it's in alignment with what I'm like teaching my students and what I use with my personal coaching practice. So, one of my first coaching mentors recommended the Coaching Habit book, and I still use so much of like when I'm coaching, like things that I learned from those two books. So, and they're really easy, quick reads. So those are great ones to check out. I also love the Powerhouse Guide to ACC, PCC, and MCC Coaching by Jennifer Powers. Now, Jennifer Powers is my coach trainer and mentor right now. I am in a level 3 coach training program working towards getting my MCC credential, which is the top credential in the world for professional coaches. And so she personally wrote this book. And I also have my Born to Coach Training Academy students read this as well, because like I said, it just gives you a really good background of how the ICF core competencies work and why those are important, how to apply that to your coaching practice, and then really what is the difference between the ACC, PCC, and MCC coaching. So if you're going to be coming into the Born to Coach Training Academy, you're going to be reading it anyways. So if you want to get started ahead of time, I think it's a good idea to grab that book. And I just love Jennifer's style of writing as well. And she's very just like direct and to the point too. And it's just easy to digest, and you're going to learn a lot from it. The other book I recommend is Coach the Person, Not the Problem by Chad Hall. He is also an MCC coach. Jennifer's an MCC coach. And he has his own coach training program called Coach Approach Ministries. So I think he's a pastor or was a pastor. So they blend a Christian approach with ICF coaching, which I think is a very unique niche. And I love his book because it really talks about, excuse me. So ACC coaching is focusing more on the problem that someone brings to the coaching session. Hold on a second. I have something in my throat. Let me take a drink of my cacao for a moment. Okay, hopefully that helps. I do not like coughing on my podcast, but I usually end up coughing at least once during the podcast. Okay, it's all good, right? ACC coaching, so Associate Certified Coach, first ICF credential level, is coaching more around the problem that someone brings to you. So if someone's like, I want to lose weight and I want to fit in a bikini by the time spring break comes, then you're going to be asking things that are more focused on the problem of like, what have you tried already to do to lose weight? And let's see, I always hate being put on the spot, but what are some new options you could try to start losing weight, and what are some things you can commit to this week that's going to help you to feel healthier? And, very focused on the external problem. And then once you start coaching at the PCC level, so the second credential, professional certified coach level, you're focusing more on coaching the person, right? Hence the name of the book, Coach the Person, Not the Problem. And the rationale behind that is if you help the person to change their mindset and change the way they look at the problem, they are going to be able to solve the problem themselves, and you're not going to have to help them solve the problem, which is going to make that person feel really good, and it's going to change and transform everything in their life. I absolutely love coaching at the PCC level. In the Born to Coach Training Academy, we're a level 2. We teach you how to coach at that PCC level. It's just a much deeper type of coaching, way more transformational. I love that book. It's a very short book. It's not even really like a full book. It's more of like, it's like an ebook, to be honest. And so that's going to give you, and I have the Born to Coach Training Academy students read this as well too. And like I said, it just gives you an idea of how to start shifting your coaching to coach the person in front of you and not focus so much on the problem, and knowing that the problem will take care of itself once you really effectively coach the person. Okay. And then I just wanted to share 3 coaching podcasts that I really like. I mean, obviously I love my own podcast, and you're listening to that too. But if you want additional podcast, I love Make Money as a Life Coach by Stacey Bayman. She was personally mentored by Brooke Castillo, who also has a great podcast called The Life Coach School. You may have heard of her. And Stacey's just excellent at selling. I mean, she can literally sell anything. She has this really cool story of how she first started selling mops at Walmart, and now she's sold like millions and millions of dollars with her coaching and coaching program. So I just love her personality, and I love the advice that she gives, and it's just so valuable. So Make Money as a Life Coach is a good one. The Life Coach School by Brooke Castillo is a good one too. Brooke does a lot of like just really short episodes, and a lot of incorporates a lot of life coaching into her podcast too. And then the other one is the Typical Life Coach podcast by, I think it's John Strassner. He also just has I just really love his unique approach to coaching and running a life coaching business. Sometimes I think so many people who I like listen and follow are a lot of women. So sometimes it's nice to just have like a man's approach too. And I don't know, just the way he shares things, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I've never thought of it in that way. And he shares so much value on his podcast. So again, none of the coaches I just talked about, none of them are ICF credentialed, but that's okay. Because while I do, ICF is the gold standard for coach training programs and personal coaches, I also think there's also a lot of really great coaches out there that are getting trainings through other different programs and have other different types of credentials that aren't through the ICF. So I want to make sure that I'm also like all encompassing with that too. And I'm not that like snob that's like, well, if you don't have ICF credentials and if you're not ICF trained, then you're not good enough. You're not worthy enough. And I don't ever want to be that person and come off that way. So, okay. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. So we talked about Acuity for scheduling, 17 Hats for a CRM system, Zoom for a coaching platform, G Suite for all your documents, the Microsoft ToDo App to use with clients. And then I shared some coaching books and some coaching podcast. Hopefully that's enough to get you started today. If there's anything that you feel like I missed, I can always do a part 2 and, share more coaching resources. I have so many of them that I can recommend, but I felt like these were like kind of the most important to share today to get you started. So yeah. And just remember to, like I said, I have that course, Build Your Life Coaching Biz in 7 days. I mean, that's the result is in the name. It's going to teach you how to get your coaching business set up over the next week. I have the bonus Life Coach Starter Kit in there that has so many good tools, resources, documents that I use to run my private coaching business every day. You get that as a bonus when you purchase that course. And then you also get to jump on a monthly group coaching call with me and also be connected with the other, Born to Coach Training Academy students and past graduates and other people, the coaches that are in the course on that call too. And we can help you to quickly, work through any problems that you're having with getting your coaching business set up and finding paying clients and being visible with your coaching on the internet, or working through any fears, any imposter syndrome, anything that's coming up for you that, it's very typical for all that stuff to come up when you're starting to build your coaching business. So that's the first Wednesday of every month. I believe it's like 12 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Eastern, something around there. So, all right, guys, I got to get going. But thank you so much for always listening to the podcast. I love you all and have a great day. I'm so grateful that our paths have crossed at this time. And if you're ready to up-level your coaching skill set and learn how to confidently coach at the transformational PCC level in order to help your clients get bigger breakthroughs and better results, then join our Born to Coach Training Academy at buildyourlifecoachingbiz.com/certification.